Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open greatly today with the new season, trying out some different teams and different combinations. We're going to use the Shadow Charizard, which is very interesting, with the Shadow Steelix and the Stunfisk in the back. So at least we got an interesting matchup here. We did swap. They swapped into the Talonflame, and you can see we are actually doing a decent amount of damage because we are running Thunder Fang, and with all these Psychic Fang debuffs, it's helping us win this matchup here. They end up double shielding, which allows us to farm down. That is terrible for our opponent because investing 2 shields, losing the switch is not ideal. They throw the Parabolic Charge. Unfortunately, it is enough to KO. However, we do have a Stunfisk waiting for them. We're just going to over farm here. We don't really care what move they throw here. We fully anticipate getting some extra energy. This Mud Bomb is going to force out the switch, and they actually are running Shadow Murkrow. So Shadow Murkrow, I believe, has Peck, if I'm not mistaken, and that's just not going to deal enough fast move damage towards our Stunfisk. So Stunfisk being a nice little core breaker to win that game, especially when we had 2 shields. Okay, another terrible lead here. We're going to have the Shadow Charizard exit out of there, and okay, Shadow Steelix finding another flyer. So this flyer here is not really doing a lot of fast move damage, but we have to worry about the charge moves. This potentially could be dig. Yep, there's a dig. However, we do survive one, which is really nice considering we're Shadow. We get to another Psychic Fang here, and now these Thunder Fangs are pretty much adding up like normal damage. We are going to have to let this one go. And ooh, they are running Night Slash, and that is going to force us to try to win this game with 2 shield Stunfisk, and it looks like we do have some play. However, this Azu we all know is very tanky, and it is going to be able to fight back with those ice beams. We fire out the discharge. We thankfully don't get shielded, so the big chunk of damage does go through. We are going to have to shield here, and we're going to have to manage energy very efficiently here. First Mud Bomb bait does grab the shield. We are over farming. We get to another move here. Will they invest the second shield? And yes, they will. So now we're going to have to get to this discharge to take out the Azu. And luckily for us, we don't really have to worry about any big charge moves from this Raichu, which allows us to get to this Mud Bomb, dealing significant damage. Doesn't quite KO, but you can see right here, they were pretty much in farm down range from our Charizard if they somehow took out our Stunfisk. Let's see if we can continue this right here. We have if you didn't know already, the Charizard Stunfisk core, and this is going to be a good test. So it looks like our opponent does swap out into the Quagsire. This Quagsire is basically trying to get to his charge moves. They're really doing no fast move pressure, and we got a shield, but our opponent is able to throw Aqua Tails back at us. We are going to have to fire off this air cutter here. It doesn't quite KO, and we don't get the boots, so that means that we have to shield here or let this go. And down goes the Charizard, and because it's low enough, we are going to see if we can potentially just farm down. There's the Aqua Tail. Unfortunately, we have to tank. Oh wow, unfortunately it's going to be double ground types, and this is basically GG's. We are going to be able to debuff them. That might help, but we need to get to at least, let's say, 3 Mud Bombs because they still have a shield. So our opponent here is staying in, rightfully so. These Mud Slaps are just tearing us apart right now. They tank that move as well, and we basically need to get to 2 moves before they get to theirs. Water Pulse is used, easy takeout for them. So GG's to our opponent. unable to win that game with our backline. Well, I think it was a Shadow, the Quagsire, kind of a problem. All right, we got a Charizard into the Corviknight, but we swap out into our Steelix, and looks like our opponent is going to be able to reach a move first, and it ends up being the Shadow Sneak. So we did not find the Ancient Power version, but we can fight back with our own Crunch here. We could shield or let this go. We let it go because we do survive it. And will they be in range of a Psychic Fang from that range? And it looks like our opponent didn't want to test it, investing a shield, which is good for them. Oh, okay, so now we have an interesting backline. This Stunfisk is going to be a core breaker between the Carbink and the Corviknight, and our opponent realizes that it's going to be way too hard to get through a 2-shield Stunfisk. As soon as we either grab that last shield, we are in the clear to beat that Carbink. Okay, let's see, what do we find next? Oh, another Corviknight here. Looks like we have to get out of here because we are running the Dragon Breath Charizard. Oh, and this is where Thunderfang is coming in handy because we're doing super effective fast move. We have an opportunity to do super effective charge moves or debut them. A lot of choices here. We are going to let this first one go. Whoa. Okay, it looks like they are running Ice Beam and Shadow Ball, I guess. Maybe only single move at this point. However, you can see the charge moves are still going to threaten KO, so we actually have to shield once. And it looks like we force out their last, which is the Primate, and it was not going to be able to survive. Now we're going to have to just tank this move from this Corviknight, running the Sky Attack. We are not going to be able to reach the other move, so we have to go for the Air Cutter. Now we're gonna have a decent matchup with our Stunfisk running Thundershock, and we still have a shield to hide behind. And unfortunately for them, they basically need to get to 2 paybacks if they're running the payback. Down goes the Corviknight, and this Stunfisk still has energy to throw back at this Jelly. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with our Stunfisk. So Stunfisk finding a lot of interesting matchups at the end right there. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.